welcome to the Logan Show. I'm your host, Logan. First of all, I would just like to apologize for taking so long to put this video out. But you see, it all happened one day. I was on my way back from class when suddenly I noticed the orphanage nearby was burning. I knew what I had to do. I ran in to save the children. I was fighting for my life through the smoke, saving the children, one by one. Finally, I had the last child in my arms. I was running for the exit. I managed to get the child out, but just then, a flaming beam fell onto me, crushing both my legs and giving me third-degree burns all over my body. I was in the hospital for several weeks. The doctors thought I might not make it, but I pulled through. And that's why this video has taken so long. Can I say that and get away with it? I have a confession to make. I didn't actually save any orphans from a burning building. Didn't suffer any kind of third-degree burns or really any traumatizing experience of any kind. So sorry if I misled you. I was just lazy. See, this vlog has just been taking, I don't know, more work than most of my vlogs. More stuff to do. I guess a lot of stuff has been kind of going on. As you may notice, my surroundings are different than usual. See, it's taken me so long, in fact, to do this vlog, that I've already moved to college and attended about a month of classes. Yeah, that's kind of a long time. So anyways, the purpose of this vlog is to kind of let you know what's going on a little bit, but mostly the purpose is to kind of talk about my vacation. I went to Scandinavia. That's Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, and also Finland, but we didn't go to Finland. And I went there over the summer. I believe Andrew has a video talking about it. He put up while I was there, and it was my first time ever going to Europe, so it was pretty awesome, and it was pretty cool, both in a literal and figurative sense, because it was cool, like, hey man, that was cool, but then also it was like highs in the 70s, whereas here it was like highs like 110 and stuff like that the whole time. So I was glad I got to escape that. So basically what I thought I'd do is I took a lot of pictures, like a lot, and so I figured I'd put some of the pictures and a few little video clips that I took into kind of a slideshow, and then I could like narrate the slideshow or something, show you guys just a few of my pictures. I'm not going to try and put all of them in there, because that would be ridiculous and incredibly boring for you. So I'm just going to kind of highlight some main things, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So without further ado, roll slideshow.
We flew in to Stockholm, Sweden, which you're seeing a street of right now. This is part of the old town of Stockholm. Notice the streets are all so narrow, and the actual street part is like the brick. It's really cool, because I hadn't really seen that many streets like that. This is the Royal Palace. Standing guard at the Royal Palace, as is fitting. This is the place we stayed at when we were in Stockholm. Here's the inside. Actually, this used to be a prison, as you can probably tell, but now it's a hostel. And here's the room that me and my brother stayed in, and our parents stayed in a different room. Here's my brother inside the room. It's a pretty nice room. And this is one of the many cathedrals in Stockholm, and there were lots of them, and they were all really nice. Smallest statue in Stockholm, right there. I took a lot of pictures of the street signs just because I thought they were pretty cool, and if you want to pronounce those, like, you know, you can feel free to send in a video about it or something. Here's some lemurs at a zoo thing we went to. They're just walking around with us. Not all the animals in this zoo were just walking around like that, thankfully. But that monkey also was. And the zoo is part of this larger thing, this open-air museum, which you're looking at pictures of right now. They took all of these old buildings from all over Sweden, and they moved them here. And they're really old and they're really cool. And check out the plants growing on the roof. You will see plenty of that throughout the rest of this slideshow. It was a very common thing in Scandinavia, but I thought it was so cool. And, I took a picture of this because it says baby hang, and I thought it was funny. Yeah. Anyway. Now this ship has an interesting story behind it. See, when it was first built, everybody was so excited about it. They said this was going to be the best ship ever because it had two rows of cannons, double the cannons, right? See, the thing was, though, on its maiden voyage, they got out into the harbor, set sail, and then it blew right over because there was too much weight on the top from the double cannons. Yep, its downfall was it had too many guns. We went to the Royal Armory, which I thought was cool because I like weapons and armor, and there was lots of that there, as you would expect of a Royal Armory, and it was pretty nice being royal. So, yeah, you can just check those out. Alright, now this is a castle that we saw. It was really cool. They had a moat going around it, which was cool there. This is a nice picture of a chain. Thought you'd enjoy that. This is looking into the courtyard from the wall. It's pretty cool. And this is like you're aiming down the cannon, you see? See what it did there? And this is the groundskeeper's house, you know, like Hagrid. And I got some video of our walk to the castle. I sped it up a little bit because it would have been really boring for you to watch the entire walk. They're there in regular speed. But here we're going across the bridge, going in. Nice little tunnel-y thing through the wall. And then there's another tunnel thing. And we come out into the courtyard. And it's pretty cool. Later, we took a train to Copenhagen, Denmark. Here's the streets, pretty cool. Shout out to Andrew, his family is from Denmark. Then we went to Aarhus, Denmark, and we saw this dude in a museum. This is the Bog Man. Pretty cool. See, his throat was slit, and he was thrown into a bog as a sacrifice, and he was preserved like this. In the museum, they also have a bunch of other Viking-related stuff and things that have been also preserved in the bog. It actually preserved things pretty well. So that was cool. And they threw a bunch of stuff in there as sacrifices. And there was some old, like, rune stones, too, in there. And they had this old church building outside. It was really cool. It had the bell tower. And this is another open-air museum. This one is there in Aarhus, Denmark. And it was really cool. They've got a bunch of the buildings. See, this one is more of a urban type setting, urban buildings and stuff, whereas the one in Sweden was more rural. Here's the train station in Copenhagen. It was really nice. Here's where we stayed. It was the tallest hostel in the world, I think. Some statues. Snail. Yeah. Bikes. Now, bikes are huge in Scandinavia. Not like they're large size, but they're like really popular. Everybody rides their bikes everywhere. And this is Rosenborg Castle in Copenhagen, Denmark. And it was really fancy. It's where the royalty used to live. King Christian IV. This is his bust. Okay, check this out. Does this not look exactly like the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones? It does, okay? That's why I took a picture of it. It looks exactly like it. Okay, now these. So, here's the story behind these earrings. King Christian was in a battle. There's an explosion nearby. Shrapnel got launched into his eye, okay? So, of course, he had to do the natural, manly thing and get the shrapnel taken out of his eye and made into earrings for his mistress. Isn't that sweet? And, lion. This chair is made out of narwhal tusks. You see them all there? Yes, this is a throne made of narwhal tusks. And there's a guitar, some guns. They also had like the national treasury underneath this castle, and this was in there. If you notice, that armor had an elephant on it. There's lots of crowns in here. This is the part where it has all the jewels. Really, really fancy jewels. I mean, they belong to royalty, so some other crowns. Alright, now this is the ferry that we actually got on to go from Denmark to Norway. And ferry is used loosely here because it was like basically a cruise ship. Here's our room. 4 beds along the walls. There's the bathroom. Here's one of the upper decks on the outside. And it was really nice. There's a smokestack there. It was quite a ferry. Now these things are interesting. You see them, the lifeboats? They're like submarine looking. And here's the harbor where we were coming into Oslo, Norway. There's a cool little opera house thing over there, that building. Getting off of the ship, saying farewell. And this is a museum which had Viking ships inside. Did you enjoy that little intro to the Viking ships? I thought you might. So yeah, there were 3 Viking ships in this museum, all from like burial mounds and stuff, and they all had a bunch of like treasures and stuff in them, and they're pretty cool. Then we went to yet another open-air museum, Norway style this time. And see, look at these houses and stuff. They are so cool. I loved this open-air museum because the buildings were just so cool. See what I'm talking about? About the grass on the roofs? All over the place. That's a nice door. That's a nice door. This is a stave church. They were pretty cool. Oh, we went to the art museum, the National Gallery, after that, and this is some stuff there. Oh, there's the Scream. Only it's not really the Scream. But yeah, we went on a fjord safari in this little place called Flom, Norway. Went out on the fjords. Beautiful, beautiful scenery in the fjords. It was amazing. My camera can't even do it justice, and it's a pretty nice camera. Okay, don't get me wrong, but it just can't. Nothing can do this justice. It was so great. Oh man, it was beautiful. But see, there's flowers and mountains and. Oh, I tried the panorama feature, so yeah, it actually worked out alright. This looked like a cool little foresty area, like trolls living in it, you know. And this is the old hotel there in the fjord, and it's really cool. This is inside of it. It's got really nice furniture inside. That's not where we stayed. We couldn't afford that, I'm sure. That was St. Olaf's Church. And this is a villa with the dragon head things on the roof, as you see. Here is a stave church that we actually went to. It's in its original spot where it was built, which is unlike most of the other ones, which have been moved to museums and stuff. And the inside is very dark. Okay, this is a fish market in Bergen, Norway. And all these houses along this row, all these buildings, are slanted because of bad foundation. Okay, this is dried cod. Okay, dried codfish. Here's another one. That stuff will keep, they say, for 20 years. You just rehydrate and eat it. Not me. I would never eat that. I ain't eating no 20-year-old cod. I just, you know, it's just not my thing. But this is a castle in Bergen. Great hall, stairways, stuff. Here's up at the top of the castle, looking out over the harbor. Pretty sweet. This is more of the top area. And here's from the top, looking over at the Great Hall section. Then we went back to Oslo and saw another castle. Here's the little drawbridge. And here's some of the castle itself. And then also in Oslo, there's this cool little statue thingy in the street. And that's all I have for you.
Oh, it's over. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much my video for today. Maybe my next one won't take quite so long, right? That's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.